Namely, you have sexual mode of reproduction and asexual mode of reproduction, right? We learned about these basic things so far. Furthermore, we also learned about method of sexual reproduction, how sexual reproduction basically takes place, right? It's rather a complex process, and two partners are required in the sexual mode of reproduction, right now. So that is something which we learned. Further, we also learned about asexual reproduction. So rather, it's a simple process and it's a fast process in which two partners are not required. Simply, thus, new organism will take birth from the single parent, right? Okay. Which organisms follows the asexual mode of reproduction? List some of them.
Sir, amoeba.
Hmm.
Sir, amoeba.
Hmm. Good. And
Fungi.
fungi. Fungi will be reproducing by the help of spores.
Yes, sir.
And there were a few more, like there were
So
hydra,
yeast.
yeast. Yeast will reproduce by budding. You know. Like that. We understood the differences between sexual and asexual reproduction too, right now. Okay, in which of the two gamete cells are involved? Gamete cells are also called as, what is the another name?
No.
Haploid cells.
No.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
The germ cells. Were you saying haploid cells? Chakrika.
Yes, sir.
No, we can call them haploid cells, but there's one more. My question, I'm repeating the question. The question is that, what is the another name for germ cells? What are they
Sperm and
basically?
ovum.
Yeah, basically they are sperm and ovum. Basically they are sex cells right now. So in the case of sexual reproduction, we have learned that, first of all, in the body of the male and female, first of all, these germ cells will be produced right now. When they, like the child, when the boy, when he reaches the age of puberty, at that time the sperm cells will be produced, right? In the girl child, the ovum, that is the female gamete cell, it is already present in their body since the birth, but at that time it is not mature. Right now, it is matured only when they reach the age of puberty. Got this now? So in the case of the sexual reproduction, there will be fusion of the gamete cells. Like the gamete cells will be involved, they will be fusing together. As you can see here, their sex cells are fusing to form zygote, and further the growth of the baby will take place like this. But in the case of these asexual organisms, there is no such involvement of germ cells, I mean to say the gamete cells, or sex cells or germ cells also. Literally all these three are the same thing. So there is no such involvement here. Getting it now? Okay. Also in our body, there are two types of cells. One type of cells are called as somatic cells. Like all the cells other than sperm and ovum are called as somatic cells, because in the process of reproduction they do not undergo fusion. Hope you guys are able to understand what I have said. The blood cells or muscle cells, when the two parents, um, only the gamete cells will be fusing. It's not like the blood fuses, or it's not like the bone cells or the muscle cells will fuse. No, only the gamete cells will be fusing. So all those cells that do not take part in the process of reproduction, they are called as somatic cells. Right now. Also answer this to me. In the body of this amoeba, or in the body of certain bacteria or fungi or hydra or yeast, are there any sex cells produced in their body?
No.
Obviously no, right? Gauri and Khadija, you guys also turn your cameras on in the class. So
Sir,
since,
I don't have a camera on my device.
okay, no worries then. So the thing is that if they don't have sex cells, so then what will you call their cells as? Then what type of cells they have?
Somatic cells.
Exactly. Then they have somatic cells right now. So in the case of asexual organisms, they in them somatic cells are participating in reproduction. Getting it now? So hope that is clear. Furthermore, basic differences all of you guys have understood. In which of the two the daughter cell will be identical to the parent?
Sexual.
Asexual.
Asexual reproduction, right now? Okay. Asexual reproduction. Getting it? Okay. Furthermore, we also learned that inside our cells you have got nucleus, and inside the nucleus you have got thread-like structures like this that you call as chromosomes, right? And in the chromosomes you have DNA, right now? Okay. In the somatic cells, like any cell other than the ovum and the sperm, how many pairs or how many chromosomes are there?
So 46 chromosomes and 23 pairs.
Very good. Right, Gauri, Khadija?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now. So here, the cells like ovum and sperm, we call them as haploid cells because they have only half the number of chromosomes. That is only 23 and 23. Like, okay, and when they will fuse together, thereby the number of chromosome will be restored back to 46. Right now. So that is another observation which we had. Okay. Also, many times we see that identical twins are also born to humans. Ever thought about this? Huh? How identical twins are born to humans? Normally, in the cases of asexual reproduction, we have seen that the daughter cells are identical. Like these two daughter cells, they are identical to each other and they are identical to their parent also. But in the case of human, what happens? The two children can be identical to each other, but they will not be identical to their parent. They themselves will be identical to each other. You'd have seen twin daughters, twin brothers. Huh? So they would be identical to each other, but not to their parents. So how does that happen? Hmm? So how does that happen? So that is some interesting concept which we should be learning. Getting it, no? Getting it. So thereby, basically, what happens actually now? What basically happens? Let me just give you a slight gist of the concept. Sometime later on, we'll be taking up that concept. Okay, now one of you please remind me about that. Okay, Chakrika, Khadija. Hmm. So see, Gauri, what would happen here? Now, sometimes what happens? This zygote, when the fusion would have taken place, and when this egg would have been fertilized by the sperm, so this zygote will split. Sometime what happens? It splits into two embryos. Right? Getting it? This zygote has received the same genetic material, meaning that this has the same genetic material received from the parents and from their male and female parent. Sometime what happens? This splits into two. So will it die? This, if it splits into two, will it die?
No,
Actually,
sir. Awesome.
no. So it will basically split into two embryos, and these embryos have the same genetic material. Like this one and this one both have the same type of chromosomes. Getting it, guys? They have the same genetic material. Then identical
Even
twins
the
will be
same
born.
number of chromosomes.
Obviously, same number of chromosomes. This one also be having 46 chromosomes. Okay, no?
Yes.
So that is the thing. Sometime later on, we'll be discussing that in detail. Okay?
Sir,
Yes.
isn't there another chromosome called Y chromosome?
Yeah, we have two types of chromosomes. We have X and Y chromosomes. So the females will be having XX chromosomes, while the male have XY chromosomes. Okay, now
Okay, sir.
we'll be later on understanding that concept, that how a female child is born and how a male child is born. There you will get to know now that this sperm can either have X chromosome or can either have Y chromosome. Okay, now there you will be understanding in detail about the sex determination. Okay, now let's move in a sequence. Furthermore, I did told you about the stages of sexual reproduction. Right now, we are talking about the humans only, not about frogs and not about other animals. Okay, now. So the event of sexual reproduction, in particularly most of the animals, is divided into three stages. You have pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization event. So in pre-fertilization event, what would be happening? Remember what I told you? Yes. Here, production of sex cells will take place in the body of the parents. Right now. Basically, it is the production of the gametes, namely the sperm and ovum, taking place in the male and female parent, particularly in the reproductive organ. So that is a pre-fertilization. What does pre mean?
Before.
Before.
Before, good, right now. So it is an event happening before fertilization. That's why also called as pre-fertilization, right? Furthermore, this process of formation of male and female sex cells, it is also called as gametogenesis. So if you get this term somewhere, you read this term, so that basically means the process of formation of male and female gamete cells. Okay, then second event is fertilization. The process when haploid male gamete cells will fuse with the haploid female gamete cells to form a diploid zygote cell. Basically, it means that ovum will be fertilized with the sperm and will lead to formation of zygote. Okay, now. So till here it was fertilization. Now zygote will later on develop into an embryo. Embryo, in this, now the number of cells will start to divide. It will keep on dividing for the next 9 months in the case of humans, or in the case of elephants and some cattle as well. Right now, because the gestation period is almost same in the cattle or in the elephants and in the human baby, humans also.
So when does the zygote exactly form?
When does the
After the
zygote?
fertilization? After the fertilization, when does the zygote exactly form?
Okay, zygote is formed right after ovum is fertilized. Okay, no.
Yes. So
When
from the starting of the month, like till the 9th month, it's just the development of the embryo.
yeah, over the period of 9 months, embryo will be developing. Right now, we can
Yes,
say
sir.
zygote will be basically developing. Right now, so which
Yes.
is roughly around like 33 to 36 weeks. Right now, so in the 9th month of pregnancy, which would be like it would be the final time of full development and maturation of the fetus. Later on, this embryo will grow, and later on, it will be called as fetus. Right now, fetus is basically the unborn human baby. Right? So during this time, what happens? All the organs of the fetus would have developed completely, right? Like the lungs would have developed completely, right? Brain would have started to at that time, brain would continue start to grow. I mean to say, it will continue to grow. At the same time, bones would be developing. Bones will start to become hard. In the initial months of pregnancy, like in the third, fourth, or fifth, or sixth month, the bones would be soft. Right now, but in the later months of pregnancy, the bones would become hard. Skins will develop properly. Hairs will start to grow on the head and other parts of the body. Getting it now? The weight of the fetus will increase, like that. Furthermore, the position of the fetus also shifts. The fetus may move into a head down position. Fetus will move down into a head down position. Getting it? What happens, like in the let me show you a diagrammatic representation like this. I mean to say that the fetus initially would be like this, for example. Try to understand. Okay, not the exact representation, but try to understand. So it will move down in this position in the later months of the gestation period or in the pregnancy. Head down position. Getting it, guys? Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
does the fetus have life in it in the first few weeks, or does it like get life later on?
Since the time of the formation of zygote, it has life in it now. Like this ovum is also alive. This sperm also has life in it now. Hmm. So even before the fertilization event, even before the ovum was fertilized, it had life in it. I mean to say that this ovum has life in it. This sperm has life in it. It will fuse to form zygote. So yes, zygote will also have life in it. So since the time of fertilization, even before fertilization, even before egg was not fertilized, it has life in it. I mean to say that. Or more specifically, you can understand from here, like zygote will have life in it. Got this, no?
Focus.
So that is the whole thing. Okay. Furthermore, in the post-fertilization event, like in the third event, it is basically the formation of zygote. So that is the third stage of fertilization in humans. If anyone has any questions so far, please do let me know. So far, if there's any confusion in it, please do let me know. Have you guys preparing notes for this chapter or not?
So isn't it the third part?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is third part. Thanks for reminding. It's a post-fertilization event, right? Okay. So in this, after the formation of zygote, it multiplies and grows. Or more specifically, it would be better to say that the cells in it multiplies and grows. The cells in it multiplies and grows into a fetus. Fetus basically is a unborn baby. So that is the post-fertilization event in humans. You guys have are noting it down or not?
Yes.
Also, there's a very interesting thing about this stat. In the initial stages of the growth, in the initial stages of the development of the zygote, now you will find that the embryo, or like if I were to have an image, it would have been better. But still, try to understand what I'm saying. That like the um basically the thing is that in the initial stages of the formation of zygote, it will look like zygote of in the initial days of the development of the zygote of fishes or of humans or of frogs or of some different other animals, it would look very similar. Getting at what I'm saying? If you were to look at the initial stages of the growth of different organisms, it would look similar. It would be kind of little bit hard to distinguish. Meaning that initially what would happen, like in the fourth week is basically after 1 month. hmm? So it would kind of would have developed like this. Try to understand. It would be basically a lump of tissue. Will kind of look like this. Then after let's say 10 week, it would have developed further like this. For example, hands would have started to develop like this. For example, hmm? like this. So that is after 10 week. Now, if you were to look at the fetus of different other organisms, fetus of different organisms would look similar in the initial stages of its development. Like if you were to look at the fetus of some other organisms, like for example fishes or for example frogs, so that would also look similar to this. In the initial stages, it would be like a little bit hard to distinguish. All if you're getting it, what I'm trying to say, I will show an
Yes,
image
sir.
of it in the next class. That would give you a better clarity. Okay. Let me just erase this for the time being. Next, today we would be learning about the parts of reproductive parts in the humans, namely the male reproductive part and the female reproductive part. So let us understand about. First of all, let us understand about the male reproductive part. Right now. So have a look at this image. So in this here, the male reproductive system, its main function is to provide the male gametes for fertilization, basically the sperm cells for fertilization. Before we learn about sperm and before we learn about some other hormones like testosterone, first of all, get to know the structure of the male reproductive organ. So, right. So here, this structure, that is the penis. It is a cylindrical shaped organ that has a small opening at its top. That has a small opening at its top, and via this, it secretes semen which contains the male gamete or sperm. It's the same passage via which urine is also passed. So that is the first structure of the male reproductive organ, a cylindrical shaped organ. Getting it? Then you could see over here, you have a pouch-like or bag-like structure, a sac-like structure here that is present just behind the penis. Both of them are images of the same thing, of the male reproductive organ, but viewed shown at different angles here. Okay, now. So this structure over here is called as scrotum, that is present right behind the penis. So scrotum basically holds the testis in it. The testis or testicles are present in this organ, and it provides them the right temperature so that they can produce sperms. So testicles or testes are stored in this sac-like structure that we call as, what would we call them as? Scrotum. Okay. So it has got two functions. It holds the testicles or testes. Another thing is that it provides them the right temperature so that they can produce the sperms. One can think of this question that how scrotum provides the right temperature to the testicles. How does it do so? Okay, Aleph is here. See, basically through the contraction and relaxation of the muscles of scrotum, it will regulate the temperature. Usually the temperature of the scrotum remains below the average temperature of the body. Usually the temperature of scrotum remains less than the average body temperature of a human male. Is that much so far clear to everyone or not? And how it regulates the temperature? By contraction and relaxation of the muscles, it will regulate the temperature. Yes, Aleph, how are you? And why you have joined after half an hour? Yes? Aleph, hope I'm audible to you. Okay, now. So far, penis and scrotum, is that clear to everyone?
Sir, can you tell one more time?
See, moments ago, we have been learning about the male reproductive organ. In this, we learned about penis, which is a cylindrical organ, cylindrical shaped organ, right? It has a opening on its top, and via this opening, it will secrete semen, which basically contains the sperm. It's also via this passage, urine is also passed. Then we were learning about this scrotum, a bag-like structure or sac-like structure present right behind the penis. Its function is to hold the testicles. It will hold the testis or testicles. Testis, another name is testicles. Okay. So that is one function of the scrotum. Another function is that it also helps to regulate the temperature. Because the production of sperms, which is being done by the testes, it requires a less temperature as compared to the normal temperature of the body. Right now, so for production of the sperm cells, the temperature of the testicles have to be below than the average body temperature, than the normal body temperature of humans. The reason why the reason why its temperature is lowered by the contraction and relaxation of the muscles of the scrotum. The muscles of the scrotum will be contracting and relaxing in order to lower down the temperature of the testes, because the production of sperms takes place at a temperature lower than the normal body temperature of humans. Is that much clear to everyone now?
Yes,
Right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Then Most of the males have a pair of testes, meaning that two testes are there, right? No,
So,
yes.
so what is semen?
Semen, we will get to know about that also. Basically, semen basically is it's a sperm now, the same thing.
Yes,
Semen or sperm, basically the same thing, right now.
yes.
So semen is basically like not that much same thing, because in the semen it's a liquid in which sperm will be found. Apart from some sperm, some other things will also be found. Getting it, no? So later on, while we were learning about the sperm, there you will get to know about the content of the semen. Like what does it contain?
Yes, sir.
Normally it would contain sperm, but apart from that, it will contain water also. There would be some mucus in it also, right? No, some of the nutrients will also be found in it, because you will get to know that for the movement of this sperm, it will require a liquid medium and it will require some nutrition. So all of that will be present in the semen. Okay, now. So testis, most of the males have a pair of testes, meaning that number are of two. Singular is testis, okay, na testis, or plural is testis, okay, or we also call them as testicles. So testis consist of coiled tube-like structure that produces sperms. The testis also generates the male sex hormone, that is testosterone, that leads to secondary sexual characters, that leads to development of secondary sexual characters in the male child. Like when the male child would be reaching the age of adolescence, when he is in his teenage, 12, 13 or 14 or 15 years of age, at that time we get to see that there are several changes in his body. Hmm. The muscle mass will increase, the voice or the vocal cord, it will become wider, it thickens. Hmm. The voice will become more what do we say, that the voice will become more deep and loud. Hmm. Growth of facial hairs, growth of hairs in the pubic region, in the armpits, all those are the changes that happens at the puberty, at the age of 13, 14 or 15, 16, like that. So all those changes are done for those changes, this hormone, that is testosterone, is responsible. So testis has got two functions. Testis has two functions right now. The first function, what is the first function of testis? Yes.
Uh, wait. It
Mhm.
has a. It consists of a coil-like structure to like for sperm
Mhm.
and stuff.
Okay. So first function is to produce sperms. Next.
So
For the
to
male
produce
sex
the
hormone,
hormones.
Hmm. For male sex hormone, what is the name of the male sex hormone?
testosterone.
Testosterone. Very good. Right now, so it will be producing a sperm and it will produce a hormone that is called as testosterone. Right now, not testosterone does not have got anything to do with reproduction or fertilization. Basically, it makes the male child or male parent ready for reproduction by development, like for the development of secondary sexual characters. Like when a female or a male child will reach the age of adolescence, so first of all, the reproductive organs starts to produce the gamete cells, starts to produce the sex cells. In male, like in the age of puberty, the sex cells are produced, while in the female child, it is already present since the time of birth. Hmm, but it is not mature, right? So those are the primary sexual characters, development of primary, meaning the main characters right now. That's the main thing. Apart from that, there are some secondary sexual characters. Note the term secondary sexual characters, because it does not have got anything to do directly with the cell, like the broadening of muscles, or the facial hairs, huh, or the increase in the height of the children. Does it have got anything to do with reproduction? Actually, no. Main involvement in reproduction is that of the ovum and sperm. So those are the primary sexual characters that develops. While broadening of the muscles, increase in height, widening of the hips, all that are the secondary sexual characters. So in the male parent, in the male child, the secondary sexual characters develops due to testosterone that causes puberty in male. Puberty is basically when you get to see different type of changes developing in the body. Getting it? So that is testis. Then you have another structure of the male reproductive organ called as urethra. As you can see over here, this here or this tube-like structure. Okay, na? Well, both these images are of the male reproductive organ. Okay, na? So what would be the function of urethra? Guess about its function and you guys tell me. Yes.
Sir,
Sir,
urine.
Okay, urine will pass through it. Very good. Sundus, is that you? Have you
you know,
joined from a different ID? Anyways, like someone with the name of Roni has joined. But anyways, yeah, you guys were answering it.
so sperm will also be produced through that.
Not produced, passed.
I mean, yeah, past.
Good. Right now. So the main function of the urethra is that it allows the flow of semen that contains sperms. Right now. So its main function is to pass down the sperm. Right. Apart from that, it is also part of the urinary system in the male parent, in the males. Right now. So urine will also pass through the urethra. So it has two functions. It's a tube-like structure that allows the passage of semen. Semen is basically a liquid, white liquid in which water is present, mucus is present, and sperm is also present. So it will secrete, it will allow the passage of semen, and it will allow the passage of urine through it. So that is urethra. Okay. Then you have another important structure called as vas deferens. Look where vas deferens is. Look over here. This one here. Look at this structure. So vas deferens is another tube-like structure that connects testis to the penis, basically. Getting it? So the function of the vas deferens would be to carry the sperm cells, isn't it, guys? The function of the vas deferens is to carry the sperm cells. So it's a tube that carries the sperms from the testicles to the urethra. See, look over here. So sperm cells that would be produced in here, via this, it would be carried to where? It would be carried to urethra. Is that clear to everyone? The function
Yes, sir.
of vas deferens.
So,
So that is the thing about it. Okay. Then here you get to see that there are some other things also, like prostate gland is there. Look over here, this prostate gland. Then you have seminal vesicle. So what are their functions? Let us understand about that too. So prostate gland, it's a gland. Where is it located? Look over this structure, by the way. This bladder, what is it? What does it store? Can anyone
Urine.
guess?
Urine.
Urine. So that is a urinary bladder. So this is right beneath the urinary bladder. Prostate gland, this whole structure, let me mark it with a different color. This whole structure now that we see over here, that is called as prostate gland. Okay, so let us understand what would be the function of this prostate gland. You have understood its location where it is present. It is present right beneath the urinary bladder. Okay, so it will secrete a fluid, and we call that fluid as prostate fluid. Look over here. We call that a prostate fluid, which makes the 1/3 content of the semen. The semen, which I have told you moments ago, which will pass through the penis or which will pass via the urethra. So it contains different things. not just sperm. Apart from that, it will contain different things also. So in the semen, we have learned that sperm is found and sperm is secreted by produced by the testicles, and via vas deferens it goes into the urethra. Okay. So in the semen, sperm is found. Apart from that, some other things are also found in the semen. So what are other things? Like 1/3 of the content of the semen is secreted by prostate gland, so which secretes a fluid called as prostate fluid, and that will contain essentially enzymes, zinc, and citric acid. This prostate fluid, what does it contain? Yes,
Zinc, citric acid, enzymes.
enzymes, right? Okay. So far, it is clear to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
Furthermore, there's another structure as you can see over here. Look over here. This structure that you see over here. What do we call them as? They are? Yes,
Seminal vessel.
seminal vesicles, right now. So seminal vesicles, they are bag-like or pouch-like structures that you see over here. And where are they located? Just above the. Where is it located? Yes,
Above
Khadija?
the prostate gland.
Above the prostate gland. Good. Okay, no? Okay. So let's learn about its function. That the what function does seminal vesicle performs. So seminal vesicles, by the way, they are also glands basically. They are also glands. What is the number of these glands? They are present in 2. Okay, now these are 2 glands present here. Okay, and this would also be making some. This would also release some fluid. This will also release some fluid right now. So seminical vesicles will produce a fluid that will be high in a different type of nutrients, that will contain a high content of fructose. Huh? Fructose is a type of sugar which will give nourishment to the sperm. It will contain some proteins also, and it will contain mucus also, right? So the seminal vesicle, which is another gland present right above the prostate gland, it will also secrete something into the. It will also do some secretions. What are the secretions? What does it secrete? It basically secretes a fluid. It will secrete a fluid. Fluid, you guys understand now? Basically a liquid. So that liquid will contain fructose. It will contain some protein. It will contain some enzymes, and it will contain some mucus in it. So that makes up around 50 to 80% of the content of the semen. Getting it, guys? Is that much clear so far to everyone or not? Let me write this over here actually. We have learned it's a pouch-like structure. They are located right above the prostate gland. One another thing we have noticed here, it is connecting something. It connects the vas deferens now. It connects the vas deferens. It is connected by the vas deferens, like the vas deferens, this one over here, and this vas deferens. It is connected to this now. Getting it? So it connects with the vas deferens here. That is another thing about it. Okay. Furthermore, they are secreting a fluid that would provide nourishment to the sperms. So what we have learned about that fluid? So this fluid will contain fructose in it. What is fructose? Is it a fat or is it a carbohydrate? Or, I mean to say, is it a sugar, a type of sugar, or a fat? Hello?
Sir, sugar.
Yes, a type of sugar. Good. Then it will have some protein also. Then it will also contain some enzyme. Most importantly, it will have mucus in it. Right now.
Sir, no citric acid and zinc.
So citric acid and zinc is found in the prostate fluid now, not in the seminal vesicle. Both are different things.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Have all of you understood it properly or not? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Every Good. Okay. Now answer some questions. In this, do tell me where the production of sperm is taking place.
Sir, testes.
Okay. Then do tell me which is the common passage for the flow of semen and urine.
No, urethra.
Urethra. Okay, good. What is the function of scrotum? Gauri, you explain about this one.
Um,
It has got two functions to perform. Okay. Anyone else?
it keeps the temperature of the testes below the body's temperature
Good. And
for the production of sperm. No.
Sir, it is a sac-like structure which holds the testis, and it
very
provides
good.
the right temperature for the testis to produce the sperm.
Exactly. That's the thing. Good. Okay. Then do tell me which is a gland which is present right beneath the urinary bladder.
The
Prostate gland.
prostate
Gland.
Good. Okay. Do tell me what is the name of the fluid that is secreted by the prostate gland.
No, sir. Can you tell one more time?
prostate fluid.
My question, one of you answered it. Repeat again.
So prostate fluid.
Prostate fluid.
Prostate fluid. Very good. Okay. Then do tell me that mucus will be secreted by prostate gland or seminal vesicle.
Seminal vesicle.
Seminal vesicle.
Very good. Okay. And zinc and citric acid.
Prostate fluid.
In the prostate gland.
Prostate gland. Very good. Okay. Do tell me that which gland over here is connected with the vas deferens.
For
The seminal
like
vesicle.
seminal vesicle.
Seminal vesicle. Good. Okay. Furthermore, the testis, apart from producing a sperm, it produces one more thing. What do we call that as? Apart from production of sperm
So
cells,
semen.
semen is not just one thing. Semen is basically the name of the liquid which will contain sperm. It will contain mucus, enzyme, citric acid. It will contain zinc in it. It will contain protein, enzyme, all that.
So does it produce the testosterone?
Testosterone. Very good. Right now. Okay, so that is the thing. Okay, we'll be talking a bit about this testosterone. So let us understand about the function of testosterone. You have understood how it is secreted, right? Basically produced by the testis. So it's a sex hormone that plays important role in the body of the male parent. So in men, uh, it has got it has got like like it helps in development of the muscle mass and strength. Hmm? It helps in development of a strength and muscle mass. Furthermore, it helps in uh, production of red blood cells. Production of it also regulates the sex drive in the male. It has got it would be in strengthening the bone. Getting it, guys? Furthermore, it helps in development of the penis as well. So it has got several functions. One of the primary function of the testosterone is that it increases the muscle mass in the body. It increases the strength in the body. Males with particularly higher testosterone level have higher muscle mass and strength. Getting it now? Another important function of testosterone is that it signals the body to make new red blood cells. Further, it ensures that our bones and muscles stay strong. Getting these things or not?
Yes.
Right now, one another important function of this testosterone is that it is also responsible for proper fat distribution in the body. Proper fat distribution in the body. So it has got several functions, isn't it, guys? Also, uh, particularly male with higher testosterone level has got more hairs in their body. Body hairs will be more in them. It is also responsible for change in the voice of the male. Getting it, guys? So it has got several functions to perform. It has got several functions to perform. So let us write down some of the functions of testis. Okay, now. First of all, let us write where it is produced. So it is produced by testis. Talking about its functions, following are its functions. What are the functions I told you? Yes. This is starting from Gauri. Mention some of the functions of testosterone. Hello? Anyone else then? Chakrika?
So helps in the enlargement of the penis.
Okay. And
So body hair.
body hair. Aleph, you also mentioned some of the functions.
Some
Khadija?
muscle increase of muscle mass and muscles.
Increase in muscle mass or increase of muscle mass. Good. Yes, Khadija? Yes. Change in voice.
Production of sperm.
Yeah. Helps in the sperm production as well. Good. And you guys are forgetting two important things about bones
So
and the
growth
red
in
blood
height.
cells. Growth in height. Yeah, we can say that also, but particularly it is not that much that it does not have got that much of role to play in the develop in the growth of height. Okay, no, usually that is not counted
Yes,
as
sir.
the main function. Okay, bone strengthening the bone. Okay, no. Another thing is that it signals the body to produce red blood cells, so helps in the production of red blood cells also. So these are the main functions performed by testosterone. Hope it is clear to everyone. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
do females have a sex hormone?
Yes. Females also have sex hormone. Okay. We
Oh.
will get to know about that. We will be learning after having completed the male reproductive organ. We'll be learning about female reproductive organ. There we will get to know about
That
female
is,
sex cells. Right now,
so
like
that is called the progesterone, right?
progesterone is there, progesterone is there.
Progesterone.
Right now, we'll be learning about that too. Progesterone is particularly helps in at the time of pregnancy. It is particularly secreted. Okay. No? Okay. By the way, you guys have been preparing your notes or not? Please let me know. So far, the different things we have learned, you guys have made notes of these things or not? Please let me know. Huh? From the beginning, you guys have been making notes. Alif, Shakrika, Gauri, Khadija.
Sir,
Yes,
like I finished till like let me check.
Okay. Yes. Others tell me.
Like deployed and haploid.
Okay.
Finished.
Okay. Okay. And what about others?
Sir, I am making my notes.
You're good. And
Yes, sir.
Khadija, Gauri, you're also?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. It is important. Khadija, you also making notes now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So if you would like to note down something or if you have missed anything from the previous classes, please do let me know. We have 5 minutes remaining. In that 5 minutes, you can note it down if something is left. You guys had wrote down this differences between sexual and asexual reproduction?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
Sir, let me check.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have a doubt.
Mhm.
So, sir, in the male body, basically in any human body, the bone marrow it also produces the red blood cells, right? So
It
basically,
also. Mhm.
in the male body, the testosterone also helps in the production of red blood cells.
See, the thing is that testosterone will help in the production of red blood cells. But how does
It's
it
signaling.
does so? That is important. Okay, now, like,
So,
um, like it will be basically helping to make the red blood cells through the bone marrow only, right now. So, like for example, it will be signaling the body. It will be kind of signaling the body, signaling the brain to produce more red blood cells. In that manner, it will be like it's not the site of the production of red blood cells. We know red blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. Getting it now? It is produced in the red bone marrow, right? Furthermore, if
yes,
a bod if a body has excess amount of testosterone, then it will cause your body to make more blood cells. Getting it? Okay.
so,
Then there's one interesting question, that is testosterone found in both male and female? Did you guys thought about this or not?
No, it's not found in
Hmm?
no,
females.
Actually, it is found in both the males and females, guys. Hmm? It is found in both the males and females. Getting it? Like in the male, we have learned testosterone is primarily produced in the testicles. Huh? Primary, it is produced in the testicles. Getting it? In the females also, it will be found, but it will be produced in the ovaries. Normally, you wouldn't have learned about this thing, but it will be produced in the females also. Although the content will range, the content ranges greatly. Like in the male, usually the testosterone level are much higher than females. They are much higher than females. You'd be you let me tell you one thing, that there are so many female gymnasts, of so many female bodybuilders, uh, weightlifters, power lifters, right? When we look at their physique, many female bodybuilders would be having a physique better than that of the male power lift, a regular male who's going to gym. So they would be particularly taking this hormone. Many, not, I'm not saying all of them takes, but there are some who takes the testosterone hormone, because that helps in increasing the muscle mass. Getting it, guys, what I'm trying to say? So
Sir,
the
what I don't understand is why do females have it? Because they already have their own female sex cells, right? So why do they have it?
the reason is that because testosterone in testosterone does not have a role to play directly in reproduction. Hmm? It does not have got direct role to play in reproduction, but it has got other functions, like it helps in producing new red blood cells, it maintains the health of the bone. It furthermore, it boosts the what do we say, it increases the health, bone health, it increases the muscle mass, it improves the sex drive. huh? So this is something that is important for both male and female. Red blood
Sir,
cells, bone health,
what does
muscle
it
mass. Mhm.
what does it mean by sex drive?
Sex drive, urge for sex, that basically it means right now.
Oh,
So testosterone will be found in both of them, but the thing is that, let me write it over here.
Sir, can you show the differences?
Just one moment, just one moment. In the male, the amount of testosterone secreted will basically range from 300 to 1000 deciliter. Okay, no? It is in a unit called as ng/deciliter. Just know the amount. It will be in this much. While in the female, it is very less. That is around 9 to 55 ng per deciliter. So you can see the huge difference in the quantity. Yes? Getting it, guys? So it is found in both male and female. In female body, it is very less. Now, another interesting thing is that what happens in the female parent, this testosterone is immediately converted into estrogen. Now that's the twist here. This testosterone in the female, guys, testosterone is converted to what? It is converted into estrogen. While in the male, it remains as testosterone. Is the concept clear to all of you or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So while it will be produced in both male and female, but in the case of female, it is converted into estrogen. So that is the interesting part about it. Also, the amount varies greatly, as you can see here, as I have noted the amount. Yes.
Sir, is it egestrone or estrogen?
Estrogen.
Okay.
Okay, no. So hope that is clear. So will you meeting in next class and revise? Okay, Alif, you're asking to show this difference. Yeah. Note it down quickly if you haven't, because other classes are going to
Okay,
start.
sir.
Also, I was thinking that so far we have discussed several chapters. How about we have a small test where you'd be having few questions from every chapter which we have done so far, like 2-3 questions from the first chapter, 2-3 questions from the second chapter, like that. Everyone okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm
Yes,
telling
sir.
you in the next class there will be a small test of like 15 or 20 minutes. Not much question, like 7-8 questions will be there only. Okay, from the chapters which we have done so far. So go through the chapters which we have learned so far in done so far in the batch. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I'm done.
All right, guys. So that's it for today.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye. You're welcome.